Apologies for the late video, and if I sound a bit off, my family has been extremely sick, but I haven't until yesterday, where I started feeling sick. And I've also have an injury in my knee and wrist. Well, quote-unquote injury. My knee is just kind of like has fluid buildup, and my wrist hurts from literally gaming too much. Quite literally my career. Absolutely insane. I've also haven't been working on making stuff in Space Engineers because I've been too busy playing the Roblox game, playing crazy. It's actually kind of good because I've made some cool stuff in there which I will make or replicate in Space Engineers and alter, because the designs and ideas I come up with in that game are quite impressive and very useful. I actually plan on making videos about the stuff I make in that game later on, maybe next year. I mean, this year is almost over, and I don't know. I plan on just getting it all done and then doing it all in one go. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. But anyways, this is me showing off my cargo ship, which is called the Heavy Hauler, and it is the Mark 1. It doesn't look the best, and that's because the Mark 1, every single Mark 1 doesn't look the best. Just go throughout history and you'll probably see that. At least I'm pretty sure of that. But anyways, this ship contains of, I think, 6 different parts. I haven't been keeping count. Alright. It consists of the hull and like 4 structures, being the bridge, the control room, the steam pipe, and the crane. And now I'm going to show you it in game. This is the Heavy Hauler Mark 1, but that does not mean there is going to be a light hauler. I just decided to call it the Heavy Hauler because I got big plans for it. It's going to be a massive cargo ship, if you couldn't tell by the crane. I guess we'll start from the front to back. So, well, actually, I guess to probably do the outside first. I actually took me a bit to figure out how I was going to design this. I didn't have a image or any reference images at all, or any ideas of how to build this. I kind of just put it all together randomly until I got something that randomly looked good, which was this. Originally that with the old color scheme. I'll probably show that off at the end of the video. It'll be pretty short anyways. One of the things I don't like is the bridge in here. As you can see, we'll go in there in a second. It doesn't look as nice as that box room at the back of it, simply because I couldn't find a nice design to go with right here, and I only had the armor blocks to work with, so I kind of just had to do what I could with them. But it still looks pretty good from the outside, so I'm still happy with it. These walkways right here aren't really for anything, more so just for detail. Same thing with the ore detectors. They spin, and I felt like having something that spun would actually make the ship look more alive rather than just being static. I saw lightning, that's not good. Same with these antennas up here. The turrets actually have a reason, anti-personnel turrets. I think I have lightning damage off. Just in case I'm gonna turn wrong button. Second. Don't know, there could be lightning storms on this planet. So going into the bridge, we You got these double stairs. It's a bit cramped when you're trying to get up to them. I could have moved them forward, but they wouldn't look as good on the inside. I used the new lights this way, but I don't know if it's either just all the white armor panels in here, making it look way brighter than it actually is. I'm not entirely sure, or if I added too many of the lights. I'll have to check that out and test it at some point. You actually can't drive the SIP normally from the bridge, which I guess is a major downside. I never really intended that anyways. The box back there, you can drive the SIP properly, and you can control the crane. You can't actually go in the crane. The windows up there are just for details. I kind of made this whole SIP in a rush, if you couldn't tell. But if you wanted to, I don't have a remote control. If you added a remote control, then you could just kind of like stand here and pilot it. And you got a window in the back to see what cargo you have, or to see if there's any SIPs behind you that are going to crash into you. I really want to add windows that stick out from the side like real SIPs do. I guess these kind of work, but you'd have to stand up here and it's uncomfortable. So that's when I decided I just should put a window right here in the back. Moving on towards the back of the SIP now, we have in the center a giant platform, which is extremely empty because that is where the cargo goes. In the future, I do plan on moving this entire crane down onto here, because like, you know how docks have like those cranes that are on wheels that go back and forth and everything, instead of it being on a like stilts or whatever these things are called, lifting in the air. I decided I want to do something like that, and then that way I have room to put a larger structure on the back. But I didn't have time to figure that out, and I already had the crane done, so I decided I'll just save that for the Mark II. We're only gonna look. Oh, I did not repaint. No, I did not. I did not repaint the carpets in here. Well, that's alright. The Mark I is always rough on the edges. The Mark II is when things get really put together. This is exactly the same on the other side of the SIP. You kind of have these railings here to make it so you don't accidentally fall down into the wheel and get crushed into the ice or anything, which I don't think would actually happen. Maybe, I'm not sure, I haven't tested it. You got batteries, you got atmospheric thrusters in here so you can actually move the SIP around. And they got 2 gyros up here. 4 total for the SIP because it's mirrored on the other side. As you can see in here, it's exactly the same. Now going to the very back of the SIP, we have 3 structures to look at. This is where most is going on. One of the least detail is the smokestack. As you can see over there, I have my Destroyer Mark I, the yellow SIP. Not this whole thing. That's going to be for a later video. That's me upgrading the Destroyer. Don't worry about it. Actually, the yellow thing was Destroyer Mark II. But I had a Steam stacks on it, and so I didn't know what to put here, because there's the crane that took up this, the control room that took up this. I just need something to go right here, and I'm like, you know what? 1 Steam stack should look good enough. There's nothing going on too much down here with the control room. The inside is a bit not too nice to look at, but it's a bit nicer than the other SIP, which I'll show you after this, compared to how the color scheme used to look. But it's still a bit rough on the eyes with the lighting and everything. Honestly, it's the wood. There's too much orange. I was actually planning on having the ceiling be a dark metal type color, but I never got around to it. As stated before, this was in a rush. Oh, and speaking of that, up here are the 2 control seats or whatever, where you can drive the SIP properly, operate the crane. The rest of it's honestly just for details. And up here, you just can go up here, stand, and look around, unlike the bridge. The last thing to look at is the crane. I would show you it working in action, however, when I had to repaint the SIP, I had to remove some parts, so I need to rewire it up and everything. It's fine, you'll see it work properly in, I think it'll be the next video I make where I actually set up my oil rig type base thing. Oh yeah, I was talking it through to Copilot, and it said that it would most likely be called a offshore rig rather than an oil platform type thing. So I'll just be calling my oil rig type base an offshore base from now on, or something along those lines. Back to the crane, I have this nice looking structure. I tried going with crosses here, but I couldn't find a block to use, so that was the best alternative I could use. I also like to cap these off with these. They're the conveyor caps, but they fit nicely on here. It just seems proper. We have the rotor under there to move it and everything. As you can see in here, there's nothing in here. The windows are just for detail. However, this counterweight is functional. It's all heavy armor, and I would imagine I'm picking up more heavy armor on here, so I feel like it makes sense to keep the mass to the back as much as I could. You can kind of see I tried using a real crane. Originally, when I'd make cranes, I would literally just have pistons, hinges, and rotors, and that's it. I really decked this one out, which I'm really proud of. These look a bit unsturdy if you look at it from the front, but from the sideways it looks better. I have plans to improve it with the Mark II and everything. It'll be alright. And we have, I think yes, that's a total of 4 pistons to make it go out all the way. I've tested that. I just haven't wired it up. And this one to go down with a massive mag plate on the bottom, because it just looks like it fits. So I can pick up any of the cargo and then lift it to its location. And I believe that is all of the SIP to sew off. I'll sew it off moving in a bit. I'll just real quick show you what the color scheme used to be like. Ignore the flag. The navigational compass thing was the same red as in on here. So just kind of imagine that part. The sun's going down. Let me fix that real quick. Now, if you're looking at it, it looks really nice, and that's because I actually went through and I was using like a bunch of knowledge about human biology and psychology and everything like that to figure out the most relaxing colors to use, and this is what I came up with, which is why it looks really nice to look at. However, there's reasons why I went with the blue and the orange rather than keeping this. I'm real quick just going to show you what the SIP looks like so you can get comparisons. Wrong button. Comparison to the other SIP. As you can tell, it definitely looks a lot nicer, except those don't have the flags on there. I set up the other SIP a bit better than I did with this one. And here it looks a bit nicer too. I'll say I really loved the red and white color scheme. I really wanted to keep it, but it just wasn't going to work out. I'll explain why in a second. I just want to show you in here last. I do have my headlights on, maybe that's why. See, it looks very relaxing. So the reason why I decided to go with the other color scheme was because now it looks relaxing, but now imagine you're in a battle, like a full-on battlefield. Do you want to feel super relaxed and have like your focus deep debuffed, being too relaxed and not fully focused on the battlefield. Because from a logical standpoint, kind of like that, then it's like you're not your full awareness. So would it actually be good to be too relaxed on the battlefield? And the secondary reason being that from here you can kind of tell it apart. You can kind of see the wood from the red. Now, of course, I could have done something where I could have painted these areas right here white and it might look better. But honestly, the red conflicts with the wood on the outside too much. Now, this is a boat and I wanted the deck to be wood because that's kind of what I imagine how sips are. Well, older type sips at least. And when I make actual flying sips and stuff, I'm not going to have wood on those. So it probably wouldn't make too much sense, but there would still be red on the inside, so it'd still conflict. And plus, the thing is, from afar it still looks cool, but it's kind of harder to make out the colors. And the red kind of fades into a darkest grayest to a black type color. However, if you look at it compared to this one, no matter how far away you get, you can distinctly tell the difference between the colors. The color scheme still looks really nice. I honestly think it looks a lot nicer than the other sip due to how vibrant it is. You can clearly see and differentiate the colors, so they're not all just mixing together and kind of looking the same. And it's still kind of relaxing on the outside. The inside needs some work, I'm not gonna lie, but that will all be put together with the Mark II. And don't worry about all that mess over there. And yes, that is the rocket from last video. It kind of crashed. Actually, you know what? Ending off this video, I will literally... I managed to capture some replay of the footage of the ship crashing. I was trying to make it go like further in the atmosphere to kind of orbit the planet, but I kind of went too low. It didn't have enough thrust on it, and it crashed. And then a reaver attacked it, which is why the head of it is like chopped off. A reaver just came by without my knowledge. I was watching a YouTube video while working on this, and I just, when I left the game and I was like on YouTube, it didn't play the audio, and I come back and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna start working on my ship again, and a reaver is shooting, which is why there's some craters and some smoldering stuff on the ice. But as I said, I'll just play the footage of me crashing to end off this video.